Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a first impressions video. I am covering 3 bags that I got in fairly recently. So I have here the Laurent Gabby bag, the Valentino Loco, and also the Laurent 5 to 7 bag. I'm going to be going over my initial thoughts, first impressions, some mod shots, and also what can fit inside. So I hope you guys enjoy this and let's get started. So first up is the Laurent 5 to 7 bag, and I full on dithered about this bag because I wasn't really sure if I'd get the use out of this particular style and shape. I do feel like it kind of reminds me of a slightly younger style. I just wasn't sure at this point in my life whether I would get the use out of it. And I would say that I've both been pleasantly surprised and also realised that my concerns weren't entirely unfounded. In terms of the actual design though, I think it's gorgeous and it's a beautifully made bag. I do feel like it's priced on the higher end, and I'm not sure if I'd say it's completely worth the price. I do feel like it could have been better marketed at around like the £1,500 or £1,600 mark, but this is much closer to £2,000, which I do feel like is a lot for it. That said, I do think it is a very nice quality bag. So you do have that beautiful smooth leather all over. My favourite feature is the YSL logo right there, which doubles as the clasp. So the L just hooks into that little leather loop, which I just think is so clever. The smooth leather carries on right through to the back, the sides, and then also the base as well, which is reinforced with an extra piece of leather. So it's a very structured bag indeed, which I do think it helps to really give it a sense of quality and again, that kind of luxurious feeling. You do also have the adjustable strap, which isn't mega adjustable, like you can't make it a great deal longer, but it is there if you wanted that extra little bit of length. And then when you open it up, you have that really kind of wide interior. They didn't put any dividers in here, which I absolutely think was the right call. Even though it looks like a very mini bag, you can actually fit in a very decent amount. I will share with you in a second exactly how much, but I've been very pleasantly surprised at just how much I can fit in. And then you do also have that one pocket right there at the back, which is actually fairly decent as well. The lining is a microfiber lining, so I'm not sure how it's going to wear, but hopefully it will be okay. I don't think this is a super carefree bag in terms of the wear and tear. Like obviously I've only had it a short while and I've not seen anything too alarming, but I have been very careful with it because it is smooth leather, and generally speaking smooth leather is a lot less forgiving than a pebbled or a grain leather. I do have one tiny dent there already. I'm not actually sure you're going to be able to see it because it is very minor and I did buff it out a little bit, so you can only really see it in certain lights. If I can pick it up on camera then I will show you, but as I said, I have been very careful with it. I will continue to be very careful with it, but I will also monitor the general wear and tear and let you know if there are any updates. But it's certainly a bag that you're not really going to be able to knock around, I don't think. Not that you'd want to with something that's expensive, but definitely something to consider. I have been very aware of the leather and the fact that it might be more prone to showing scuffs and dents and marks and that sort of thing, but in general it does feel like a beautiful bag. Like you hold it and even though it's a very lightweight bag, it still feels like beautiful quality, which I don't think is always so easy to pull off. Often the quality feel does come from a certain amount of weight, whereas that is not the case for this bag at all. It feels like quality, it feels very luxurious, but it's also a very lightweight bag, which is very comfortable to wear. In terms of how I've been getting along with this bag, I would say that it's both been pleasantly surprising and also confirmed my initial concerns. So pleasantly surprising in that it's very comfortable to wear and you can fit in a surprising amount. My concerns, as I mentioned, were that I wouldn't find that many occasions to wear it to. And for me, this is a solidly date night bag because you can only wear it one way. And this bag has really confirmed to me how much I've gotten used to a lot of the newer styles coming with a whole bunch of different strap or chain options. Everything from the Gucci Diana to the Coach Tabby bag, Mulberry Mini Alexa, Valentino Loco. They do all come with multiple strap or chain options that enable you to wear them a whole bunch of different ways, from top handle on the shoulder, lengthways on the shoulder, crossbody, and I really do like that, and I do think it makes you feel like you're getting so much more bang for your buck. You know, if you do have a small bag that you're happy to wear over the shoulder, if you do have that longer strap, automatically converts into a very easy crossbody bag that you can wear during the day as well, meaning that you're hands-free. Whereas with something like this, I really wouldn't use it during the day at all. So for me, it is absolutely a date night bag, which absolutely limits how much I can wear it. Obviously, something that I knew going into it, but this bag has really confirmed to me that I've gone so used to those multiple strap and chain options, and I really do like them. I do think it now makes me feel like I'm getting much better value for money, whereas this bag sitting in at, you know, £2,000, I don't really feel like it's been amazing value for money just because of that. So even though I don't think that there's anything wrong with the quality, and I do still very much like it, it definitely has made me consider the versatility of a bag and really how many times I'm going to be able to wear it and how many ways I'm going to be able to style it as well. So definitely a little bit of a mixed one. Like, I have been enjoying it, as I said, but I do wish it did come with a few more chain or strap options, just to mean that it was a little bit more versatile. Okay, so sharing with you what can fit inside each bag now, and I'm starting off with the Saint Laurent 5 to 7 bag. I have filled this bag full. You could maybe squeeze in one more item, but for me this is as much as I'd want to go. Don't know if you'll be able to see that, but there is no stretching or bulging of the leather. I feel like if I added anything more, then there would be a little bit of stretching there. So this is as full as I would comfortably go, but I could fit in a fair amount. So it just unhooks like so. And then on the inside, I have a pair of sunglasses. I have a small wallet as well, and this is a compact wallet. I have my iPhone. I have a lipstick. I have a pack of tissues, and I have a small compact as well. So that is everything that I could fit inside. I could technically fit in a long wallet, but if I was to do that, then that is literally all I would be able to fit in, and maybe like one or two items on the top there. So I would definitely never use this bag with a long wallet. For me, it's much more suited to a card holder or a compact wallet, but it does fit in plenty of items for just kind of a daily basis or an evening out with a little bit of stacking. I did try with my sunglasses in a little pouch like so, but I did find that the leather bulged a little bit, so I took my sunglasses out and then they fit just fine. And here is the 5 to 7 bag. Very simple in terms of the ways to wear it because there's really only one. So just kind of with the one strap, you can obviously wear it in your hand, crook the arm, and on the shoulder as well. And that's the drop. So it does sit quite high, I'd say, so it definitely has more of that like 90s vibe and feel, but it is quite a comfortable fit, and then you can lengthen it as well. So there isn't like a ton of extra room, but you definitely can if you prefer a longer handle drop. So I've just increased the handle drop length, so this is the maximum, and as you can see, it does add a fair bit of length or kind of height to it, so that definitely is an option if you prefer your bags to sit a little bit lower, just to give your arm a little bit more breathing room as well. So that is a nice option. I would say that has left a little bit of a dent though, so that's the first time I've actually extended it because I was happy with the shorter length, but I guess if it's molded like that for a long time, it will leave a little bit of a dent. So definitely something to keep in mind, but you do always have the option if you do prefer a longer drop. So that is what it looks like just back to its shorter length. Again, it does sit a little bit higher, but definitely manageable, and it is a really comfortable one just to pop on your shoulder. Of course, you can wear it just in your hand as well, and it makes for a very nice handheld style, very easy to grab, a nice kind of width to the handle as well, so it is very comfortable to hold and obviously allows easy access as well. And then of course you can pop it in the crook of your arm as well. Next up is the Saint Laurent Gabby, and oh my goodness, I love this bag. It is absolutely adorable, and if you can't tell, I've definitely been getting more use out of this one than I have my 5 to 7 bag, and I just love everything about it, from the overall look to the functionality as well. The look for me is very vintage inspired. You know, this really reminds me of the old school vintage Chanel crossbodies, like really cute. You have the quilting all over, so very Chanel-esque as well. The leather is beautifully soft as well, like it really does feel so nice and much more like a lived-in vintage bag, but not like in a bad way, just in like a really nice way. You have the leather that carries all the way through, so there's no stitching on the base and no separation, and because of that I wouldn't say it's particularly structured. You have that extra stitching around the sides which does add a bit of structure, but it's a very soft bag indeed. You don't have any pockets or anything on the back. And in fact, it's a very simple bag. There aren't any pockets at all. So you open it up with a zip opening and that's it on the inside. It's fully lined in leather, but despite that, doesn't feel heavy at all. No pockets on the inside though, no card holder slots, like nothing like that. You literally just get that big open space. And then you do also have that combination chain strap as well. So you do have the hardware to dress it up a little bit, as well as that leather strap, which is fully adjustable as well. The capacity on this thing is actually surprisingly great, and I will show you exactly how much you can fit in a second. But the fact that there aren't any compartments, and also the leather is quite malleable and the opening is fairly generous as well, means you can fit in a surprising amount. And I have my phone right here. I will do a proper kind of what fits in, but as you can see, like I can pop it in and you still have quite a bit of room, but when you look at it, it looks like the tiniest bag in the world. So I was very pleasantly surprised about that. I know someone messaged or commented saying that it looked to be exactly the same as the Louis Vuitton pochette, which I said I really didn't get along with, but I actually find this to be, I don't know whether it's necessarily that much bigger, but I think it's the combination of, yes, having a bit more space, but also because the leather is so much more malleable, it's a lot easier to access your items. And my biggest issue with the pochette is that, yes, you could kind of pack it neatly and fit in just about what you needed to, but anytime you wanted to get anything out, you'd have to unpack everything, and then if I needed to shove things in quickly like you would when you're out and about in a store, you know, you're not going to spend 5 minutes at the till kind of stacking everything neatly, I could never fit everything back in, so I would just end up holding my phone, whereas that isn't the case with this bag. Like, you can get in and out of it very easily. There is enough room to do so. You have the height there as well, and again, that nice big opening does help your cause as well. And I just think it's fantastic. Like, it's really adorable, packs a punch in terms of just how much you can fit in, very comfortable to wear. And I do think they've done a very nice job in terms of making it feel like a nice kind of everyday casual crossbody that you could also wear as a dressy little bag as well. And because of the combination of the hardware with the leather, I do feel like it's very flexible in that way. So if you can't tell, I've been a huge fan of this. Like, it's really cute. It's a good price point as well. It's under £1,000 and it does feel like you're getting a fair amount of bag for that. And yeah, I've just been really happy with it. So I'll let you know if any issues come up, but so far so good. This has been a great little buy. And now for the Saint Laurent Gabby bag, and unbelievably this can fit in almost as much as the other two, which is quite something because there is a vast difference in terms of the overall size, but the leather is quite a bit more flexible, which I do think helps, and I have definitely filled it full. But even though it's stretched out a little bit, it's stretched out in a way that I don't mind because of how soft that leather is. Like, I don't feel like it's going to compromise the look or the integrity of the bag over time. Like, I'm completely happy to have it this full. So I'm gonna share with you what I managed to fit inside. As you see, it's definitely full, but I managed to pop inside my lipstick, pack of tissues, little compact, my iPhone, and also a compact wallet as well. So as you can see, it's pretty much the same amount minus these sunglasses, and I'm gonna try it now with a card holder. So here is my card holder instead. Pop my phone back in there. So I did manage to fit sunglasses in. As you can see, there is a little bit of a bulge, and I probably wouldn't do that. So I would have had to sacrifice a couple more items, I think, or maybe just the one. So if I took out my lipstick, would that fit a bit better? Yeah, so that fits a lot better. So in order to fit in the sunglasses, I had to get rid of my tissues and my lipstick. So inside now I have sunglasses, and to be fair, these are quite bulky sunglasses as well, like they're not small. My card holder, iPhone, and then also a little compact as well. So you can definitely play around with kind of what you want to fit inside, but for me, I'm like pleasantly surprised because it looks like the tiniest bag in the world, but because that leather is nice and soft, you can get away with more than you'd expect. I have here the Saint Laurent Gabby, and this is just the cutest little bag to me. Like, I really love it. It's definitely a very small size, so I'm not sure how this would fare in winter when, you know, you tend to dress on a lot more layers, because I feel like it maybe might look a little bit out of proportion with like a big heavy coat and sweaters and things like that. But for spring, summer and light layers, I think it works beautifully. Very nice length, but you do have a fair amount of adjustment you can make. So you can make it both shorter and longer if you wanted to. It sits very nicely on the body as well because it is quite a flat bag, so it doesn't add any bulk or kind of jut out too much, which I really like. And it's super comfortable to wear because of that leather strap as well. It just really sits comfortably on your shoulder, but you do have that nice gold hardware to dress it up as well. And this is what it looks like just on the shoulder. I would say it's maybe a bit long like this, but I can definitely shorten it if I want to. I've really been wearing it crossbody, so I don't wear it too often just on the shoulder, but you can definitely wear it this way if you want to. And as I said, very, very comfortable because you do have that leather strap, which is a very soft leather as well, in keeping with that kind of vintage vibe. So a really nice and easy bag, just kind of throw on and go, but I love it. And then next up I have my Valentino Loco bag, and this is absolutely adorable. I did share this in a video when I was trying to decide between this and the Antigona. I did ask you guys your opinion, which one I should keep. I feel like it was fairly split actually between the Antigona and this one, with maybe a few more votes for the Valentino, and I ultimately decided to keep this one, and I am really, really happy with my choice. I think it's gorgeous, and I do really like this whole line from Valentino, so maybe I'm a bit biased, but I think so many of their styles that they're coming out with are just beautiful, and I think this is a great example of that. So it's definitely not for the faint of heart. Like, you have a very, very large V Valentino logo right here, so if you don't like your flashy bags, then I would say you're probably gonna hate this, but I do think it really kind of goes with the overall style. This is an east-west bag, so it is a kind of long baguette shape. I don't really have too many of these styles. In fact, I feel like this could be my only one, and it is very long indeed, which it limits me in terms of how I can comfortably wear it. It can be styled a bunch of different ways, but I don't feel like they all look good on me, so that is something to keep in mind. But this does also come in a shorter version as well, so if you didn't like that long east-west style but you did like the style, then they do have that option. So it opens up with a magnetic closure right there, and it is a fairly strong magnet, so even though I don't feel like it's super seamless to kind of just close without thinking, if you just wiggle it around a little bit, it usually does find the magnet and snaps closed very easily. So that is absolutely no fuss or bother. You have the Valentino stamping right there, which is beautiful, and it opens up fairly easily, and even though it does feel like a very structured bag, the leather, because it is so soft, feels quite malleable as well, and there is a fair amount of give in there, so it actually feels very nice to open and close. And that sounds kind of weird, but if you feel this bag, you'll know what I mean. Like, it doesn't feel overly stiff or too sturdy. It just has like a nice luxurious feel to it, and it is kind of a joy to use in that way. The inside is surprisingly roomy, and it actually kind of reminds me of like a brand new car. Again, I know that sounds really weird, but the color of the leather and how soft it is and how it smells, it reminds me of a new car. Like, it's really, really nice. And you have a pocket right there, which isn't a zip pocket, it is just a kind of open one. Very, very simple. You can fit an okay amount inside. It really depends on the height of your items. You're obviously getting much of your capacity through the length rather than through the height, so it's just going to depend on what you want to bring. But if you stack things well, then you can definitely fit in a fair amount. You can technically unhook this to, I assume, carry it as more of a clutch. I've tried, but I don't feel like it comes off particularly easily, and I didn't really want to wear it as a clutch, so I didn't want to force this, but I'm going to assume you can because you do have that button right there, but it's certainly not an easy one to get on and off. And then apart from that, very simple in terms of the design. There is nothing on the back, no pocket or anything like that, nothing on the bottom or the sides. It is just a simple flat bag. You do have the different strap options though, which I absolutely love. So as you can see, I do have the chain option on right here, and I have this doubled up, and it's a very easy clasp to kind of get on and off. But you can also have it so you loop this under and you have it as a longer strap as well. That will also enable you to wear it as a crossbody. But for me, because this is a longer style, I feel like it looks a little bit awkward on me crossbody, and I just don't really love it like that. I don't mind wearing it on the shoulder lengthways, but I generally say that my favorite way to wear it is doubled up with a chain like so. But they do also give you a shorter leather chain as well, so you can just hook that on very easily. And that's what it looks like with the shorter leather strap, and I really do like the way this looks as well. It feels like a very dainty, very ladylike bag, and I just think it's adorable. I wouldn't say that I think the look is particularly drastically different from the chain strap option doubled up, but it does give you a slightly different look and feel, and I would say this is probably a little bit more comfortable to carry because of the leather element. So it just kind of depends on your preference, but I do really like the fact that you have that option. Just gives you a little bit more flexibility in how you wear it, and means you just style the bag a few different ways, which when it comes to something that is this expensive, and it is definitely a pricey bag, I always think it's nice to have those options. The leather is definitely a softer style, and very similar to the Saint Laurent 5 to 7 bag. It is something I've been keeping my eye on, and also something that I've been very aware of and really wanting to not kind of dent it and mark it. Obviously it's an impale color as well, so I don't think it's going to be particularly forgiving. I think I have one tiny dent there, but again, much like the 5 to 7 bag, it's so light that I can only really see in certain lights, so I'm not really sure it's worth mentioning. But I have been very, very careful apart from that. So far, it's been okay. I will let you know if that changes. The hardware I'm not too concerned about because it does almost have that kind of distressed look. Not overly so, but it does have a few markings which are intentional, like they're meant to be there, which I actually really like, and I do think it goes very nicely with the leather. And so far it's been great. I like the capacity. It's not huge, but it's certainly big enough for everything that I need. And because the lengthways, like, you do have a few options. Often when it comes to this kind of bag, you know, they are usually designed a little bit smaller, so you usually have to sacrifice quite a few items to actually be able to wear it, whereas that isn't the case with this one because you do have that nice length. And in general, I think it's adorable. I feel like it makes a really big statement, probably because of that massive V logo. So again, it probably won't be for everyone, but if you're wearing, you know, a minimal outfit and you don't want to be overly flashy, I think this works just beautifully. I love the combination that I got, but they do this bag in quite a few different colors, and as I said, they do a smaller version as well if you aren't a fan of the longer style. But this is kind of a breath of fresh air for my bag wardrobe. Even though I know I got it in gold hardware and a white color, it feels different because of the shape, and I love the fact that I do have the different strap options that are really easy to interchange as well. So I have been a really big fan of this. It feels just so beautiful, and as I mentioned, it is like a joy to use because of how nice the leather is, and also just that kind of lovely new car feeling on the inside. It's just a really, really lovely style. And it feels very different from the other Valentino styles I have. It feels a lot more obviously structured and sturdy, but I'd say this feels more worth the money than some of my other Valentino styles I have, and I've been really happy with it so far. So I'll keep you updated if anything changes, but so far so good. This has been a really, really solid one. Next up is my Valentino bag, and again, I have filled this completely full. This can fit a tiny bit less than the Saint Laurent bag, but it can still fit a fairly decent amount for a mini bag. So again, I have my compact wallet in here, and you could definitely obviously fit a card holder, which would be smaller than that. My iPhone, a lipstick, pack of tissues, and then a small compact as well. I tried to fit in my sunglasses, but I found with that combination of items it was a little bit snug, but you could obviously swap items out if you wanted to. If you were happy to swap out a compact wallet for a smaller card holder, then you could fit in all the same items plus a pair of sunglasses if you were happy to make that switch. And as you can see, it still closes pretty seamlessly even with the addition of the sunglasses, as long as you do make that switch. Similar to the Saint Laurent 5 to 7 bag, if you wanted to fit in a long wallet you could do, but it literally takes up all the room. So again, I would never do that. I would always go for a compact wallet or a card holder. Okay, so this is the Valentino Loco bag, and this is just kind of doubled up with the chain. This is probably my favorite way to wear it, but it is good, kind of a variety of different ways. It's a nice length as well, just to pop on your shoulder, and for me that's just a very nice drop. Like, it just kind of sits quite nicely. It is quite wide, so you get quite a wide triangle, if that makes sense. And I just really like it, like really, really comfortable. Almost kind of similar to the Gucci Dynasys in terms of like a longer drop, which I do really like. and just a really, really comfortable bag. You can obviously wear it this way as well, and it fits very nicely as well. For me, it's maybe a smidge long to comfortably wear either as a crossbody or on the longer chain, but you definitely can. I think it's more about personal preference than anything. But yeah, this is definitely another option, especially if you do like your handbags to be kind of with that longer length. And this is what it looks like crossbody. Yeah, so for me, this is a little bit too long. I just feel like it covers quite a lot of your body, and then on the side it kind of juts out a little bit. So this definitely isn't my favorite way to wear it, but is always an option if you do really like to wear your bags crossbody. You can definitely wear it like this. And then you do have the leather strap option as well. I would say this is a very short drop, so whilst I can technically wear it on the shoulder, it's very, very tight. So for me, this is definitely more of like a kind of handheld or like a crook of the arm kind of length. So I treat it more like a top handle than I do an actual shoulder bag. Whenever I want to wear it on the shoulder, I just use the gold chains, but it is nice that you do have that option. So that is it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I covered everything that you wanted to know, but if I missed anything out, then leave me a comment. If you enjoyed the video, please do give us a thumbs up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.
I don't know how or how you do it. You blow my mind without a word. Ooh, stuck upside down. I might be dreaming.